Hello, I'm here to talk to you today about gas prices. But before we get started, please try and like, comment when the video is over, share if you like the content. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification buttons. Now that we got all that out of the way, let's get into the video and talk about gas prices. We're hearing that gas prices could go up to $10 a gallon soon. Well, sure, in order to solve the problem, you got to create a problem. If gas prices are already up higher than they were when President Trump was in office, now if they make them go up even higher, then when it gets close to election time, let's get them prices down some. Still not as low, they won't go as low as when Donald Trump was in office. But it'll look like they've saved the day. And how many people are going to buy that? How many people think, well, sure, they're talking about gas prices going up because gas is, uh, the price of oil is going to reach or could reach up to $100 a barrel. Well, yeah, sure, Saudi Arabia and OPEC too, they've raised their uh, rate on a barrel of that oil and dropped the supply down. They're doing it because of Biden and his policies and the things that he's said and done. They're, you know, if Biden were to start opening back up the drilling here and the fracking here, we could put so many foreign countries and companies out of business because of the supply of oil we have under our ground, under our land. Biden won't have of it. He just wants to blame all these gas prices on all these other countries because of whatever reason he can come up with, instead of owning up and saying, yeah, if I would just open up the pipelines, and I know some of them start in other countries like Canada, but they still have to be maintained in the United States, which takes people to do that, which helps with the unemployment. It also gives us another oil supply that can help drop the cost of oil per barrel. So, yes, economically, it would help the United States, as well as increasing the supply of oil would help bring down the gas prices. Why does he not want to do that? Well, they're insisting on people doing everything they can to get into an electric car. They have not made it mandatory yet, but it's coming. Electric car? No, I don't want any part of it. I don't drive anyway, just to be upfront, but I do have to have transportation when I need to get out. And seeing what the cost of an electric car and a replacement battery and that sort of thing costs, give me my gas engine. Gas would be so much more economical if they would open up the pipelines, let some fracking happen, let some drilling and some pumping happen. But as long as all that's shut down for the sake of climate change and the ecosystem or whatever excuses they have, there there's not going to be cheaper gas prices. And of course, you'll hear it's these people's fault or that country's fault or you know, the refineries. We don't have enough refineries. Well, what's the point in even building more refineries if you won't let uh, people drill for the crude that to need to be refined. It makes no sense to blame the refineries and the oil companies when you won't let them get oil at a reasonable rate or in a manner that brings the cost down. Anyway, uh, that being said, understand that these prices can't stay low if they're wanting to shut gas motors down because the higher they make gas, the more people are going to want to turn towards electric because, oh, it's cheaper. Well, have you plugged the car in? I haven't either, so I have no idea. But if it is cheaper, can you get from point A to point B in a charge? Can you travel cross country without stopping and having to charge? Just like a gas engine, you got to stop and get gas. You're going to have to stop and charge them electric cars. Who's to say you go to point A to point B on a cross country trip, your gas per gallon isn't going to be higher or is going to be higher, or your cost per whatever they charge kilowatt hours, I imagine, for an electric car, whether it's going to be higher or not. If you're not able to correctly estimate what your fuel consumption or your electric consumption is going to be in a vehicle, how are you supposed to budget for that trip? And I would say, miles per gallon, you're going to get a pretty good idea compared to electric. Uh, we just don't. We're just not going to benefit by turning all electric. Tell me how they're going to run enough electric uh, fueling stations. I don't know what you want to call them. In a way that can keep every car charged. Look at the problem over last winter, all these cars that wouldn't even start, it was too cold. What are we going to do for that? Whatever they come up with in 1 year's time. I guess we'll see soon because winter's coming upon us fast. The fuel prices could be a lot lower, and electric prices will probably get a lot higher. And the whole thing is that who we put in office and what their agenda is to get the country running smoothly where we don't have $10 a gallon gas prices. It all makes a difference. I would suggest y'all study up and decide where you're at with gas prices and electric prices and gas motors and electric motors and how far it'll get you and what the cost per mile is instead of the cost per gallon or the cost per kilowatt hour. I need to figure out what the cost is for the total trip. Uh, uh, just what's on my head for today. Anyway, I know this hasn't been the smoothest video, but thank you for getting through it with me. And y'all have a good day. We'll see you later. Bye.